There's a quote from the book The Alchemist, which I love. People are capable at any time in their lives of doing what they dream of. I love that quote. But if it's true, then why aren't more people doing what they dream of doing? We're all born with tremendous potential and purpose. There's no mistakes. I used to struggle with this, and being the curious soul that I am, I started doing some research on this, and I was researching statistics on purpose. Well, about purpose. And did you know that only 10% of people believe that they know what their purpose is? And out of that, only 5% are actually living it. I think that's crazy. Why is it that purpose, our whole reason for being, why is it such a challenge to figure out if we want to figure it out? Because purpose gives direction to our life. It makes things a lot easier because you're starting to put your innate talents and your abilities and your skills to work for you rather than trying to fit into this mold that you may be really good at, but you may feel like something's missing, or you may long to be doing something else. And when you have a clear sense of purpose, you're able to develop a vision for your life. Purpose is like this, I think it's like this thread that weaves everything together in your life. It's like the common denominator running through your life. It makes it a lot easier to have boundaries, to know what you should say yes to and what to say no to, and to make decisions because you're very clear on where you're headed. You're clear on what you're supposed to be doing. Purpose and passion are kind of like two sides of the same coin. They both tap our interests. Your passion helps determine and fulfill your purpose. You may be passionate about filmmaking as well as nature. So your purpose may be to protect the environment by creating documentaries. If you have a passion for cooking, maybe your purpose is to bring families together over delicious meals. Your purpose doesn't have to be this elaborate, just global changing or life altering mission. That's where I used to get so tripped up. But it is something that will benefit others. And that's why it's tied to our vision, because it makes use of our natural God given abilities. But it seems that from a young age, our focus is often placed on the external world. We learn to conform to fit in, self imposed or societal expectations, maybe cultural norms, responsibilities, family, or even our peers. All of those things can obscure our vision and our dreams for our life. And instead, it becomes almost easier to pursue paths that don't really align with our true passions. And this is why there's such a thing as a midlife crisis for both men and women. It's not just a male thing. At some point, our soul is going to cry out. It's going to cry out and say, enough's enough. Like, I feel trapped in here. Remember that dream you had? Remember the vision that you had for your life at some point? Our inner sense of knowing, that intuitive voice, which we are all born with, all of us. At some point, it can become harder to recognize as we begin to start to adopt the behaviors and the beliefs of the majority instead of just trusting our own self and our own inner wisdom. It's like we abandon ourselves and we then deny ourselves the joy and really the ease of just living into our potential. And I am speaking from pure experience here. For years, I wasted so much time trying to get clear on what it is that I truly wanted to do with my life, what I was meant to do. I was making money and I was good at what I was doing and I enjoyed it, but there was just this desire for something else. Have you ever felt that way? Like, I knew what it was, but I just kept pushing it aside, hoping that it would just kind of disappear, that it would fade away because I didn't know how I was going to make it my reality. And I honestly was fearful that I wouldn't have the money anymore while I was trying to pursue that other part of me. And that scared me. And here's the thing. I was a salesperson. I was a sales trainer. I had I was very well versed in personal development because I had owned a franchise in personal development in the personal development space. And the funny thing is, not really funny, but I was like an observer to my own life, and I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew exactly what I was doing. I could watch myself doing it, but I wasn't ready to let it go and move forward in faith and action. So I started to diminish the abilities and the knowledge I did have. I started comparing myself to other people, thinking that they had far more experience. Oh, they had more credentials, they had more certifications, whatever it was. I mean, I came up with very good reasons why I couldn't pursue my passions at that time. I became very good at convincing myself that what I wanted to do was just almost impossible because it was very different from what I knew. It was very different from sales. And then I started using the excuse, and that's really what it was. It was just an excuse. And I started saying, I'm so unclear. Oh my gosh, if I was just clear, I have no idea. I'm so unclear. That I put so much focus on that I perpetuated the problem. And it's almost like I wanted somebody to just tell me what I should be doing, which is ridiculous because then I would have been living for somebody else's vision for me, not for me. Our minds can be so tricky. It is so easy to justify our behavior. And pretty soon, weeks just start to turn into months, and then months turn into years. And then we're still stuck searching for answers outside ourselves. But the thing is that if we take time to pay close attention to our feelings, and I've said this before, our feelings are the language of our souls. That is your spirit communicating with you. It's your inner guidance, and we all have it. And the funny thing about purpose is that it will continue to call. It may start as this feeling that we can't quite identify, but we know it's there. You might hear it first as like this, almost like a quiet whisper asking you to pay attention. You may feel like something's missing, or like you feel like you're meant for more and you don't really know how to identify what that more is. Often it can present itself as this uneasiness, almost like you're out of alignment. No matter how much you try and push it aside or just sidestep it, you feel it. It's almost like you're dying inside. And in a sense you are, because that desire, that something, is actually your calling in life. It's your purpose. When you know your purpose, you know what you need to do. You know what you must do. And you no longer look to others to determine your course in life. Instead, you begin to trust yourself and your emotions, and you start to understand and view experiences as lessons that are designed to help you uncover your purpose. Purpose won't die. It can't. It's like our soul. It is designed to live and evolve, and it does so through us. And sometimes it's going to take you down a path that you never expect because it has to surface. It has to be expressed. Mine did. It took me through a divorce, which allowed me to finally start listening to my inner voice and step into my purpose, because I wanted to show my children what was possible by trusting and believing in my own self. So there are some steps that you can take to start uncovering and living into your purpose and creating your ideal reality. I'm going to link an exercise down below this video that you can download and print it out, fill it out, take the time to just do it in quiet, fill it out in detail, because success is in the details, and you want to get into the emotion of this. You want to allow yourself to feel your emotions. And for gosh sakes, allow your imagination the space to just play. I like to think of my imagination as this curious, wonder-filled child that's in me that just wants to go outside and run through a meadow. No concerns, no boundaries, no fence holding back my thoughts. Nothing penning me in. Just play. So I'm going to put the full exercise down below that you can download and get into the details of it, but I'm going to give you a few steps right here, right now. So first, get out a pad of paper and a pen and just ask yourself the question, what do I really enjoy doing? That's it. Simple. What do I really enjoy doing? And then write down everything that comes to you, whatever pops into your mind. No filter. Don't question it. Just write it down. And then second, what do I think my purpose is? Again, write down everything that pops in your mind. No filter. No filter. Then ask the question again and again and again. What do I think my purpose is? Until you find something that resonates with you, and you will know it because it will most likely bring tears to your eyes. That's your soul speaking to you. Okay, the third step I'm going to leave you with today. Well, these are just the initial steps. I'm going to drop a link to the full guide down below that you can just print out and use when you have some quiet time. But make sure that you take the time to do it in detail and get into the emotions of it. But the third step is go back through those answers to questions 1 and 2 I just gave you and ask yourself, is there anything in here that benefits others in some way? Anything. You have to understand that purpose doesn't have to be this life altering mission or a global changing mission. Remember that example I gave you earlier? Blending your passions with service. Maybe you're a chef and you're really great at your purpose is just developing these meals to bring families together. It could be as simple as that, but it brings joy to you and it's beneficial to others as well. So again, there's a link down below here. You can download and print out a guide if you want to go through some other exercises that will help you to go through this process and take you a little bit deeper through it and bring you some clarity around what it is that is your purpose and how you can blend what you truly enjoy doing, your passions, with your purpose and how that can be beneficial for others as well. All right. Hope that helps you. As always, leave me a line down below and let me know if you found this beneficial. And let me know if you go through that guide as well and how you found those exercises to be for you. Thanks.